February the 6th, 2020, one of my kids, my daughter, youngest, was taken from school without my knowledge.
Is it Chris from Illinois? Chris, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Both. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I'm from Illinois. February the 6th, 2020, one of my kids, my daughter, youngest, was taken from school without my knowledge, and I wasn't notified by the school. However, during the investigation, the investigator only came to my house one time. That was her first initial visit when she told me I was under investigation for sexual abuse. So when she came to my door, I let her know that I was already under investigation by the same agency, the same office that she worked for. How can I be under investigation 2 times? At that time, I was irate. I asked her for the letter of my closure from the last CPS worker that was in contact with me a couple of weeks before this certain lady came to my door. She claimed that she didn't know anything about that. I told her she could go see my kids at school, talk to them. At that time, I had an 18-year-old who was still in high school, was living in my home. She was babysitting her 2 little sisters and brothers while I was at work. However, they never interviewed her. They interviewed the kids. She never came to my house to see the environment or anything. I didn't hear anything from this particular caseworker until she snatched my kids. But during that time, the police, the local police, was calling me, telling me that I needed to take my daughter and my son to get a VSI. I think I'm saying it right. A victim, the video.
Sure.
And so I told them no, because they had just went through that when we was in Minnesota. Case was unfounded, closed, everything. So I'm the one who told them, about the previous case in Minnesota. So what the lady did was contact Minnesota, got the full case file, and she read it. And so during that investigation, she was taking inserts from Minnesota case file and putting them in that to make it seem like that it was some type of abuse going on in my house when it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Fast forward today, they gave me back my daughter, but my son is still in CPS custody. They have made service plans without my knowledge. They will not allow the father, who was quadriplegic, to live in the kid's life. They have been shutting both of us out, been violating my rights. They will not, I put in an appeal because me and my son.
Wait, and we were talking with Chris from Illinois. Chris, continue, please.
Yes. You said what? I'm sorry.
Go ahead and continue.
Okay. And so, February 6th, she snatched my daughter. Once I found out that she didn't get off the bus, I called the school. That's when the principal told me that the caseworker came up there with the local police and grabbed my baby in front of everybody at the end of the school day. However, though, that day I had my son at home because he was sick. Immediately, I called the police station, asked them the whereabouts of my child. I got a dispatcher who thought it was a real joke. She laughed at me and said, "Aha, Miss McDonald, that's what you get." So I hung up on her. Found out that my child was at the agency building. So I went directly there with my son because I know by law if any kid under the age of 17, if CPS deems that one is in danger, all is in danger, period. You just can't pick and choose what kid is in danger, in immediate danger. So I had to go. I told my son on the way there, son, block out Skippy. If they take you in custody, that's what they have to do. By law, that's what they have to do. I had to go. I went up there with him, asked to speak to the CPS investigator who took my child, and I said, here goes my other child. You can't snatch one and not snatch the other. Of course, I didn't want to give my baby up. I mean, they're crying, everything. So she told me, oh, Mr. McDonald, the abuse hot, well, you know, the call was for your daughter, not for your son, so we don't need him. February the 7th, we go to court, my first TC court hearing. At that time, the judge questioned her why they didn't take Jim into custody, too. So she went to the GAL. The GAL put in another report through the online computer and made a report saying that I was whipping my kids under Illinois law. Corporal punishment is not against the law. And I told them verbally, my kids do get disciplined. However, he ended up taking my son. I got a public defender who's not listening to me. I have pointed out throughout the investigation, the lies, the timeline, anything in an investigative report, it has to be truthful, down to the time that she said she visited my house, down to the time that she said she talked to the kids. And I pointed the falsifications out. The lawyer not listening to me. After the TC hearing, they shut everything down in Illinois. So I didn't hear anything from them. April the 1st, I had to do an IA. I think that's what they call them.
You mean a drug test?
Huh?
You mean a drug test?
No, not a UA. What is it called? When you talk to like the social worker, a social worker from the hospital, and they interview you, and then, you know, about your questions, they try to build a service plan. I forgot the exact term, because I'm trying to hurry up and give somebody else a chance. But however it goes, like I said, the caseworker, right now I don't have a caseworker. My kids had an order where they're supposed to have a visit once per week. That has not been happening. I've been calling the director of this particular agency. I've been telling my lawyer. They keep talking about they need to see my mental health out because they claim that I needed counseling. And before she even made up the service plan, I was already in counseling. Once they sanctioned my kids, matter of fact, the day that she came to my door, I started individualized counseling. Because I'm like, why people keep calling DCFS on me? Child ago was a lady from the after-school program who assumed some stuff and made a false report, which going me to this day right now. I need a lawyer. I've been looking for a lawyer. I've been trying to talk to any and everybody about my case to let them know how I've been violated, and I'm not the only one. And I just want my son back. And they indicated us under the findings of sexual predator, me and my son. My son is 11 years old. They have never had a case under the state of Illinois where an 11-year-old was indicated to be a sexual predator. He has no criminal background. My daughter, in her VSI interview, her victim interview, she specifically told them that her brother did not sexually touch her. The judge even admitted to that because he saw the video. And he said, Ms. McDonald, you have a very smart, intelligent young lady. She knows what she's talking about. And she stated that she was not touched in the state of Illinois, that all this happened in the state of Minnesota, which that was already fully investigated by the police, disciplinary teams, and it was unfounded, and the case was closed.
Chris, do you have a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, and she sucks. When I say this lady sucks, she don't question these people's rights. The caseworkers lying on the stand. They won't allow me to see my case file. Keep talking about corona. Our office not open, but this particular agency feeds the communities that they're in and have community services that they always have people come in and out.
Hey, Cynthia, I'd like you to tell Chris what you did to find a lawyer.
Absolutely. I had to call well over 50 attorneys until I found one to take my case. I know it is a lot of work. I didn't even just call. I went to their offices, knocked on their doors, sat in front of them, told them my story. It felt really defeating, but you know what? You will find an attorney. And again, as I've repeated this, I can't wait for the site that we've built that will have attorneys in every state. Right now, we're finding those attorneys we're doing that part of the work for you guys. But until we have attorneys in your state, in your area, on our site, that's the work you're going to have to do. But this is why we're building that site.
Chris, you get it? You got to let your fingers do the walking, and you have to work to find someone that's going to help you, okay?
Yeah, that's going to help me in my budget. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
You're going to find someone. I firmly believe it. Cynthia didn't tell you the rest of the story on how she found an attorney. So she walks into my office, and she tells me...
I called your radio station first.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, anyway,
I did. I found you on the radio.
Chris, so she comes into my office. She tells me this horrible story, and we get down to the money part. And she tells me I don't have any money. She's literally got no money. All right? So I had to make a decision right then and there. This lady's going to lose her kids to an adoption, or I'm going to help her and she's going to get her kids back. But I'm not going to get paid. So I made the decision to help her. Carissa,
And I got my kids back.
And she got her kids back. So Carissa, you keep letting your fingers doing the walking, and you will find somebody that will be able to help you in your budget. Okay?
I hope so.
It's just a matter of numbers. It's just a matter of numbers, girl. So keep calling. Call us in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and give us an update on your case. I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for calling in and sharing your story.